It took me 7 days to divide the 500 years of the spring and autumn period and the warring states into these 30 chapters, a map of the fight between gods. It was the most chaotic and brilliant era in history. The first chapter, the Overlord King, heroes emerge in troubled times, who is the real chosen one? Let us start from the beginning. Let us first look at Duke Huan, the leader of the spring and autumn period. Guanzhong was also responsible for success and Guanzhong was defeated. In the first half of his life, he relied on Guanzhong and 9 princes, and in the second half of his life, he favored and trusted treacherous ministers. In the end, he was starved to death. The ending of a generation of overlords is disappointing. Jin Wengong Chong'er was a ruthless man who succeeded in starting a business at the age of 62. After being in exile for 19 years, he begged and suffered humiliation. In just 9 years after his return, he established a century-old hegemony. As long as your body and bones are strong enough, the world will be yours sooner or later. Go Jian, the king of Yu, was the strongest ninja in history. He lay down on firewood and tasted courage, and he was always angry and asked questions. His scheming was unfathomable. This kind of boss can only share adversity, not wealth and honor, and run away as soon as the project is completed. King Wuling of Zhao, who engaged in horse riding and shooting in Hufu, was the first person in military reform. It's a pity that the wise man was confused for a while, and finally starved to death in the Dune Palace incident. This place of sand dunes is really a hero. Qin Shi Huang, the only emperor through the ages, served as the successor of 6 generations. 10 years swept across the world. Although he was called a tyrant, the China he defined lasted for 2,000 years. He opened the door, but there was no one behind him. In the second chapter, Zhu Zi's 100 schools, amid the raging war, gave birth to the most dazzling wisdom starry sky in Chinese history. Looking at the various schools of thought, Confucius may actually be a Shandong man with explosive military power. He is the idealist who still insists on playing the violin in the heavy rain, knowing that he cannot do anything but doing it. Lao Tzu, the mysterious philosopher who rides a green bull, understood the laws of the universe when he was the director of the National Library. A copy of the Tao Te Ching made him a top figure in philosophy and theology. Mozi, a man of science and engineering who traveled through time and space. Small hole imaging, black defense technology, keep peace wherever there is war. If the Mahist family had not broken down, China might have opened the technology tree long ago. Han Fei is sober in the lonely world. Although he stutters, his writing is the sharpest. It is a pity that he has seen through the evil of human nature, but he did not escape the jealousy of his classmate Li Si, and died under his own theory. Gue Guzi, the strongest behind-the-scenes manipulator in the Warring States period. He has never left the mountain, but he has always been the player in this game. Su Qin, Zhang Yi, Sun Ben, and Peng Wan were all his students. Chapter 3, Famous Generals and Gods of War. In the so-called Warring States period, there must be a god of war. See how they write the art of war with their blood. Sun Wu and Bingxing not only understood Sun Tzu's art of war, but also knew how to advance and retreat. He saw clearly that war was for profit, retired with success, and was much smarter than Wu Zixu. Bai Qi, an emotionless human harvester, killed 400,000 people in the Battle of Chongping, and never suffered a single defeat in his life. The god on the battlefield, the low EQ in the officialdom, finally died by the sword of the king. Sun Ben, his knees are broken, but his brain is stronger. Encircling Wei and rescuing Zhao, the Battle of Mailing forced Peng Wan to death. As long as your brain is still there and you are sitting in a wheelchair, you can still play with your opponent at the palm of your hand. Lian Pe, a veteran who was ruined by one meal. As the saying goes, he is old and honest, can he still make a living? The final ending of death in a foreign land made the souls of many heroes cry. Li Mu, the last wall of size of the Zhao state, was unable to resist the Qin when attacking the Huns from the north. He was not afraid of divine opponents, but afraid of pig teammates, and ultimately died in the hands of the faint king he was guarding. Wang Jian, a master of high emotional intelligence and life-saving, destroyed the 5 kingdoms and attacked Gao Gaizhou. What should I do? Crazy about asking for houses and land to tarnish one's reputation. This is top-notch survival wisdom under a suspicious boss. Chapter 4, Strategists. This is a showdown of IQs, see how they can stir up trouble in the world with their sharp tongue. Su Qin, the first king of the Warring States period, had a hanging beam that was bone-piercing. In the end, he wore the seal of the 6 kingdoms. He uses his energy to tell you that as long as you are more ruthless, more curled up, and better at painting, even a poor family can produce a noble son. Zhang Yi, the #1 protection master in the Warring States period, dismantled the 6 Nations alliance with just one tongue. He was beaten half to death and just asked, is his tongue still there? This is the quality of top professional managers. Shang Yang, an autistic reformer, turned Qin into a war machine, but he himself died under the harsh laws. Reform not only affects interests, but often also affects souls in the end. Lu Buwei, the strongest venture capital investor in history, makes money by doing business, and he makes money by doing business for the country. Although the return on investment is high, the risk of King stock is too high, and it is easy to get stuck and die. Li Si, from hamster philosophy to the gravedigger of the empire, is talented, but his character is worrying. He built the great Qin Empire with his own hands, and then removed the foundation of the empire with his own hands. Fan Li, the only full-level number in the game. After helping Go Jian regain his kingdom, he immediately retired and became Tao Zhu Gong, and dispersed his family wealth 3 times. When you get tired of playing politics, go make money. This is the real winner in life. In the final chapter, among the assassins and celebrities, some have no hesitation and some are suspected of being wise. This is the last romance of the iron-blooded era. Jing Ku, a lonely brave man who was defeated but still glorious. Although his military duties as an assassin were doubtful, his sword in the cold wind of Yishui pierced through 1,000 years of time. Chu Yuan, a poet who was acclimated to the local environment, was regarded as the only one in the world. He was fatal in official circles, but in literature he was great and the swan song of an idealist. Shishir, the most beautiful spy who carried his family and country on his back, people only looked at his beauty, but forgot that he endured humiliation and carried the new king of a country on his weak shoulders. Wu Zixu, the god of vengeance who grew old overnight, was King Ping of Chu, but was eventually killed by King Wu. His life was like a fully drawn bow, hurting his enemies and breaking himself. To the east of the rolling Yangtze River is water, and the waves wash away all the heroes. Of these 30 characters, who do you admire the most? Who do you feel most distressed about? Tell me in the comments section.